Now, maybe I'm just a product of the painfully nerdy echo chamber my millennial upbringing has forced me into, but fan theories are, and I choose my words carefully here, the absolute best. They're the bee's knees, the dog's pajamas, the cat's tits, and according to our analytics, a really reliable key term for video titles. Almost as reliable, in fact, as The Walking Dead. You see, despite something of a critical slump of late, AMC's post-apocalyptic soap opera and frighteningly accurate metaphor for my constant battle with responsibility still inspires all manner of speculation. The amount of fan theories are as boundless as the zombie hordes themselves, but luckily you've all got me here to compile them into a, pardon the pun, bite-sized sample for you to get your, pardon the pun, teeth into. I'm Adam from Whatculture.com, and these are the 9 craziest fan theories about The Walking Dead. Why yes, these are CLERY'S theories, well observed. Number 9. Rick's coma dream. What if everything Rick and the group had been through is all a coma-induced fever dream endured by everybody's favourite cop-turned-zombie killer, and the characters he conjures up are all various hospital staff? While this has the upside of meaning that some of the best characters thankfully aren't actually dead, it's also one of the cheapest and laziest plot devices going, and a surefire way to really piss off a legion of fans. Thankfully, Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman has already debunked this theory, tweeting in 2014 that Rick is not still in a coma. The events of The Walking Dead are definitely happening. But then, he wouldn't be about to give away the biggest plot twist in AMC history now, would he? Number 8. Alien apocalypse. In the absence of an explanation for the origin of the virus, one fan theory has come up with the not at all plausible explanation of aliens. As justification, the theory posits that because non-human species don't seem to be susceptible to the virus, it looks like the human race has been targeted specifically. What better way to secure a planet for your own alien purposes than to create a virus that affects only humans and leaves behind all of the better inhabitants like bunnies and dogs and dolphins? By doing so, the aliens have removed their main threat and freed up planet Earth for themselves without having to go in guns blazing and destroying their new home. It might sound far-fetched, because it is, but back when Robert Kirkman was pitching his idea for The Walking Dead comics to publishers, he claimed it was a setup for an alien invasion so as not to put them off publishing yet another zombie story. So, just maybe. Number 7. Rick is an immortal zombie. How on earth was Rick Grimes able to survive in a coma in an abandoned hospital for so long despite a lack of anyone around to change his IV bag? Well, because he's already a zombie, but not quite as we know it. What if his significantly decreased brain activity made him semi-immune to the zombie virus? Well, he's still infected with the virus, but his previously comatose state meant that it never fully developed, meaning that he can technically die and reanimate, but never becomes fully zombified. The theory goes a long way to explain why Rick not only survived his coma, but that near-fatal beating he endured from the governor during the fall of the prison, and why he got so chomp-happy on Joe's jugular vein when his fellow claimers were attempting to do ungodly things to Carl. Number 6. There are no zombies, and Rick and co. are rampaging murderers. Rather than a product of a fever dream, as in the coma theory, this alternate states that Rick and co. are all on a murderous rampage against completely regular, non-zombified folk fueled by some kind of group psychosis or hallucination. Want proof? Of course you do. Well, shortly before he dies, Tyrese hallucinates a radio broadcast that talks about a group of marauders committing random acts of violence, such as destroying villages, i.e. Woodbury, burning down prisons, self-explanatory, and the mutilation of children, like Lizzie and Mika perhaps. The theory goes that this hallucinated broadcast is actually Tyrese's guilty conscience, playing out and detailing all the murderous, amoral stuff Rick and co., who would be the bad guys, have done to regular, nice civilians. I mean, implausible as it may be, it would make for one hell of a plot twist. Number 5. Solar-powered zombies. How come walkers are seemingly able to go for weeks without a good wholesome meal of fresh human? Could it be that the sun is powering them? Not only does this theory explain how the walkers somehow find enough energy to stumble around moaning and decaying and generally being a pest without proper nutrition, it also explains why walkers in dark places tend to only wake up once they're disturbed by humans. They've obviously just gone into power-saving mode from a lack of sunlight. Number 4, and everyone's favourite, the Breaking Dead theory. What if Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead take place in the same universe? And what if the latter is a direct consequence of the goings-on in the world of Walter White. In Season 1, Glenn drove around in basically the same bright red Dodge Challenger Mr. White bought for his son, and then in Season 2, we see some of Walter's trademark blue sky meth in a stash of drugs Merrill left behind after being handcuffed to a rooftop and chopping off his own hand. And later, in Season 4, Daryl describes Merle's dealer as a janky little white guy who said the word bitch a lot. Sound like Jesse Pinkman much? Sure, they might just be Easter eggs, but it's a nice little theory all the same. Number 3. Gingivitis caused the apocalypse. Though we've seen many a character die on The Walking Dead after suffering a zombie bite, it seems quite odd that Rick and co. don't seem to have a care in the world when it comes to covering themselves in Walker gore and getting Walker blood splattered in their faces. From this, we can deduce, and I'll just pop my lab coat on here, that there's something particularly virulent about a Walker's bite rather than its blood or bodily fluids. So maybe the virus is a super strain of gingivitis that has managed to infect the brain because of its proximity to our gnashes. This explains why Walkers are relatively harmless when their mouths are out of action, like when Michonne was stalking around the Georgia backwoods with her jawless friends, or the toothless Walkers at the crazy governor's fun gladiator fights at Woodbury. So, yeah, brush your teeth, kids. Number 2. Immune babies of the apocalypse. Rick's revelation during the Season 2 finale that everybody is already infected with the zombie virus and will turn even in the event of a natural death really upped the ante in The Walking Dead. It meant, of course, that not only the marauding undead were a threat, but now so too were the regular dead folk too. But one fan theory suggests that all hope may not be lost just yet in this grim post-apocalyptic world of The Walking Dead, and speculates that those born after all the apocalyptic shit hit the fan might have somehow developed an immunity to the virus. This would of course mean that both Judith Grimes and Maggie, as well as Glenn's yet unborn offspring, would be immune along with any other babies born post-zombie apocalypse. Unfortunately, the only way we'll find out if this is true is by having poor little Judith die and not reanimate, which is sort of a bit of a downer, perversely. Number 1. The USA is a quarantine zone. Thanks to Fear the Walking Dead, we know that the zombie apocalypse has taken not only the good old US of A, but their neighbours Mexico too. But beyond a brief mention of France also trying to find a cure before losing contact back in Season 1, thank you Dr. Jenner, we have no confirmation of what's going on in the rest of the world. Could it be that the rest of the world was able to contain the virus before it got too out of control and, knowing how bad the situation is in America, decided to make it a quarantine zone to keep the rest of the planet zombie-free? Just imagine that reveal for the ultimate downer ending. I mean, you know, not for me, I live in the UK. A downer ending for the 67% of you that YouTube say are watching from America. Hello! So, that was our list. Which Walking Dead fan theories are your favourite? Let us know in the comment below, and to hear about the theory that The Walking Dead is actually a live-action remake of Toy Story, I heard what I said, click the link below to watch 10 insane TV theories you won't believe. As ever, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow Whatculture on Twitter here, and until next time, these have been CLERY'S Theories, and I'll see you soon.